Guys, lately it's just been nothing but fucking cover songs I've been listening to lately. Um, like a lot that I didn't even know got covered, and some of these songs are like from the '90s that I end up finding out late. Uh, I would say off the hop, for top five. I'll start out at my fifth here. I'm gonna go with Motorhead Heroes. And it was on their last album before Lemmy died, I think it was called Bad Magic.
Undercover.
Yeah, Undercover, yep.
Mhm.
And the song was originally by David Bowie, which was released in 1977. And Motorhead covered it in 2017. Which, incredible fucking song. Incredible fucking song. For a song that's like 40 years old.
I've never heard Motorhead's cover of this.
It is.
I'm very familiar with the David Bowie, but
it is beautifully done. Like, it is so beautifully done for that cover. I highly recommend it, hands down. When you hear Motorhead, you expect like loud, fast, and like it's loud, but it's not fast. It's a nice, good, chill vibe, just like the original. Top five easily, I would say Motorhead. Chance, what you got?
It's interesting, man. So many. There was a band, kind of a ska punk band in the 90s called Me First and the Gimme Gimmes.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like all they did was cover songs.
And that was like a super group, wasn't it?
That I don't know.
Because I know Fat Mike from NoFX was in that.
Let me find my dates here. But what I would say was for my number five would be the Me First and the Gimme Gimmes cover of My Heart Will Go On, the Celine Dion song.
Oh, I gotta hear this.
From Titanic.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta hear that.
Yeah, which the Celine Dion was 97. I'm trying to find when the My Heart Will Go On came out. Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. But yeah, that it's so stupid. Where it's just like, every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you. Like, it's terrible, but it's great.
Oh yeah, it's really cool when like a band will take a song from a completely different genre, and just throw their spin on it, and it actually turns out better, if not good. Yeah, like probably best example of that would be like Johnny Cash Hurt. And the original was 9 Inch Nails, I believe.
I reckon so.
Yeah, I reckon.
But the 9 Inch Nails still is very, very good.
Oh yeah, 9 Inch Nails version is very good as well.
It just does. It didn't help that the lead singer of 9 Inch Nails didn't have 70-year-old 3-pound nuts to really give it the testosterone deep voice that Johnny Cash has.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
I'm still trying to find the date here on that one.
Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Yeah, I don't know. Like I almost consider like Johnny Cash is over 9 Inch Nails though for that one easily.
Even Trent said that was Johnny Cash's song now.
Yeah, like hearing that, I think I remember hearing that interview too. Solid.
Looks like 2003.
2003 was the cover?
1997 for the original, 2003 was the cover.
Okay, wow. Nice. Noam, how about you? Fifth spot.
All right, for my fifth spot, speaking of two totally different genres, If You Have Ghosts, covered by Ghost, and I want to say like 2013.
Whose song is that?
It was a single off of I want to say Pope Star. It had like 3 different singles on there. It just goes, if you have ghosts, you have everything.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that was originally done in 1989 by Rory Erickson, which is a acid guitarist or an acid rocker guy. And the original is very, very upbeat because he's tripping on acid and he's just going to town on his guitar. and it's kind of off rhythm and off key the whole time, because he's really high in acid, and that was his whole shtick.
Speaking of being off rhythm and off key. Welcome to the Bpgn, everybody. I am BIGREDGAMER. Alongside with me,
PlayChancePlay.
And alongside of him, we got...
I'm Gnome.
And as you guys have already heard, first topic of the day, or for this podcast, I should say, is top 5 cover songs. Now, the main reason why I want to tackle this because, yeah, there's a lot of familiar cover songs, but then there's like some that don't even get the recognition that they should. That are sometimes good, if not better than the original, in my opinion. Welcome to the show, everybody. Hope you enjoy the new intro. It was much needed for an intro.
We should get a theme song.
Probably look up like Tim Cleaver for that one. Want it fast, I want it loud. Let's go, Motorhead, do it, baby.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say.
And then they're like, "All right, this is a podcast."
Yeah.
Just slowest intro.
Just like a hardcore adrenaline intro, and it's just like, hey.
All right, Tim, when I say kick it, you fucking kick it.
It would just be like
Kick it.
it would be like Korg from Ragnarok. Hi, my name's Korg. Just like hardcore adrenaline, you hear hi.
Fucking kick it.
So with covers here, what was it? Did you come up with the years on that one there, Gnome? For original? Okay. Number 4.
If you listen to this post-edit, I demand you make a kissy sound over my face when you get to this point, because you realized I did.
Yeah, fair enough.
Edit the fucking thing. All right.
You got this. Okay, number 4, I'm going to say Blue Monday by Orgy.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, so like originally it was by the New Order in 1983, and Orgy did it in 1998. So, and like New Order, like, it was like the, how does it feel to treat me like you do? But it's very 80s, of course, with like the synthesizers and everything. Orgy brought it into like a more industrial metal kind of sound, but still adding kind of like that electronic sound to it as well, which easily my favorite version of this song, hands down. How about you there, Chance? Number 4.
I'm going to go with The Man Who Sold the World. Nirvana's cover on their album Unplugged in New York of David Bowie's.
Yes.
David Bowie's version is amazing. That's still...
No, yeah, it's one of those, they're both great.
Easily,
Like,
yeah.
I love Bowie's version, but if I hear Nirvana's come on, I'm all about it. I mean, I'm one of those of the opinion that Unplugged in New York is the absolute best album that Nirvana ever did.
You're not, like, I'm with you on that one. Easily.
But yeah, the David Bowie was 1970, and Unplugged in New York was 1994.
Shit, the same year that Kirk died.
Yeah, I mean, Unplugged was not too long before that.
Fuck, that's eerie. But yeah, and then even for David Bowie, like, that would have been during his Ziggy Stardust persona for Men Who Sold the World, wouldn't it?
1970? Yeah, I would think so.
That sounds, yeah. Good pick. Solid fucking pick. Gnome, number 4.
My number 4 is Whiskey in a Jar by the Dubliners in 1967.
And then you're talking about...
The Metallica's Garage.
Yeah,
whichever year that came out.
That would have been...
I want to say like 1999?
It would have been mid-90s,
98?
if so.
Yeah, 98 feels right.
Yeah. Yeah, such a good jam to this day.
I mean, I was in middle school. So.
But yeah, Metallica's version, top tier. Turns out the band that we thought originally covered it did not.
Yeah, it was...
originally did it.
Yeah, everyone thought it was Thin Lizzy who did it at first. And then it was completely wrong. It was an entirely different band that originated
Yeah.
from Ireland. It was an Irish drinking song.
Yep. Dubliners. It's I think it was a pro IRA song.
Oh shit!
Oh, yeah. Because you talked about shooting some captain and robbing him.
Right. Oh, it's just such a good fucking party song, especially like you know you're having a bonfire late at night. Yeah, that song just blasting. Oh, so good. It's up there with Fuel easily. um, number 3 is Typo Negative Cinnamon Girl. The song originally was done by Neil Young in 1969. Typo Negative released it on their October Rust album, I believe, on 1996. Which, really good band. You know, it was that very, like, kind of, I don't know what you would call, like, a gothic industrial kind of sound for Typo Negative a bit. And it was just such a nice change of pace between hearing, like, you know, the folkish sound of Neil Young to, like, this industrial gothic metal sound with Typo Negative. Easily one of my favorite covers by them. What you got, Nick, there, Chance?
I'm going to go with Mad World. Original by Tears for Fears, put out in 1983. And then the cover by Gary Juhl in 2001 that played over the end of Donnie Darko.
Now, I'm trying to think, is that the one that was used for Gears of War? Like the trailer for that?
Probably.
Yeah, it would have been like the piano intro.
It's very slow paced.
Very slow paced and kind of
because
a sad song.
I love the Gary Juhl's version because it's haunting, but the original Tears for Fears version is actually like still really fast paced.
Oh.
Where it's like, all around me there are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces. And it's just like, it's still got that, I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. Like, it's just very still, until it gets to the Mad World, but even that's still kind of more upbeat.
Yeah.
But it's, they're two completely different sounds. And I don't know that I necessarily like one more than the other. I'll just say that the Gary Juhl version brings out, like, emphasizes the haunting nature of the lyrics more so than the original Tears for Fears.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna have to listen to the original one for sure.
That's great
because
Tears for Fears is great.
Yeah, it's been a while. I know, like, the one I'm used to hearing is like probably the cover that you're talking about. The one is like a slow piano pace. Yep. Kind of style.
That's definitely the one that's most relevant and prevalent in today's culture. But
probably, yeah.
Yeah, the original was a weird new wave song.
Nice.
It was definitely ahead of its time, for sure.
Oh yeah.
And way out of its time when it came out.
Yeah, but like hearing that, like I remembered like hearing on like Gears of War. That was like it set the tone.
Yeah.
For that, like
that trailer where he's running in the street.
Yeah, and he goes in and he like goes face to face like what are those things, like crawlers or something like that? It's like a giant crab spider or something like that.
I know what you're talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
just made you feel like an apocalyptic doom just around you, and you're just caved in. Oh, such a good pick, man. Good pick.
Still hoping for a movie.
World. Oh. And I think that song actually plays in Gears 3 later on when Dom dies. Like when he sacrifices himself. It plays while everything in slow motion is blowing up.
I mean, for me, it's still just the end of Donnie Darko. Like, that's
fantastic movie.
Yeah. Just the theatrical cut. That's the director's cut of that movie is not good, and it just shows why sometimes you need an editor.
I'm probably gonna have to see that movie. I remember,
I highly recommend.
I'm familiar with Donnie Darko basically just because of like The Rabbit or something like that. Frank, yeah. Yep. I've seen photos of that and like young Jake Gyllenhaal, you know, and like commercials for it on weekends when they're playing it at night on, you know, TV or whatever. But
Jenna Malone. Yum.
But I've never actually sat down and watched Donnie Darko. I'm gonna have to. It sounds good.
Technically, it breaks the Jake Gyllenhaal rule in movies.
What's the Jake Gyllenhaal rule that I don't... Or what is the rule?
If he has a partner, his partner dies. It's a weird technicality with that movie. I don't know. You have to watch it.
Yeah.
Technically, except I don't think he died. He lost a friend or partner in Bubble Boy, or in October Sky.
Oh my
Those
god,
are the
I
only
forgot
two
about
movies.
Bubble Boy. Holy shit.
But Nightcrawler, Jarhead. I've never seen it, but I've heard Brokeback Mountain.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was in Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah,
There's
him
another.
and Heath Ledger.
Mm-hmm.
There's another Jake Gyllenhaal movie coming out. I'm gonna watch it, even though I know the ending is gonna be his partner dying.
Oh, the ambulance one with
Mhm.
that Michael Bay's directing.
Yep.
What is your number 3 there, Gnome, for
mine-
covers?
Is Semi Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind,
That's
which came out in 1997, and the original, or that was the original, and the cover by Dance Gavin Dance in 2018.
Oh, okay. For a minute, I'm like, wait, that's a cover by Third Eye Blind covered that from somebody? I didn't know that was
But no,
covered.
I always do the original, then who covered it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I got to look this one up. Dance Gavin Dance. I don't think I've ever heard of him before.
I'm not sure if they're kind of like post-hardcore, so either you'll really like them or you'll really hate them, because they're kind of a weird, like they have like screaming, kind of, or definitely for sure, but their guy John Mess that does it.
Right.
I say he's the best of the best, and it just sounds so clean despite him screaming.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look this up because I wouldn't mind hearing a cover like that. All right, round 2. My second choice here is Fear Factory's Cars.
Mm-hmm.
Originally done in 1980s by Gary Newman, and Fear Factory covered it in 1998. You know, again, still going into the metal cover here, but they still kept the synthesizer intro as the original, and like it's not heavy, it's not aggressive, it's got a good fucking rhythm guitar to it. Highly recommend it for this cover. Anytime I can find this on Spotify, I'm driving. This is one of the songs I am turning all the way up. Easily, it was such a good jam. Chance number 2, what you got?
I'm kind of torn on my number 2. I'm trying to figure out exactly which one I want to pick, but I'm leaning towards, I don't know. Like, I know what my number 1 is.
Okay. Well, if you got an extra, we got time. You could throw it in as a runner-up if you like, or honorable mention, I should say.
And this one, it's one that's like, I don't know. It's outside of my normal wheelhouse
Okay.
of like what I listen to, and it's one that I don't know that a lot of people know it is a cover. But Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You" from The Bodyguard,
Right.
that's a Dolly Parton song.
What?
That is a Dolly Parton original that Dolly actually wrote and released at the same time that she released Jolene. So she was going through it when she wrote those 2 songs back to back. But yeah, that is a cover. The Whitney Houston one, what year was that? 92 was Whitney Houston's version.
Yeah.
And Dolly, Always Love You.
Yeah, wow, that's a mind
1974.
Holy shit.
Off her album Jolene.
I wonder why that her cover never, like, the fact she made it first never got more of
I mean, I don't know how it was up in Canada land, but The Bodyguard was a massive thing in America.
Oh, Bodyguard,
So
it was pretty big
was
here too.
Everywhere.
Oh,
in
easily.
the early 90s. And just kind of became the go-to love song up until Celine Dion and with Titanic.
Yeah, like, I know in Canada growing up, like, Titanic was very huge here as well.
Yeah, you all should have kept her.
Yeah.
I agree.
What, Celine?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think she lives in, like, what, Vegas now?
You should have kept her.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Damn it.
She could have been a no-name lounge singer in Montreal, and yet here we are.
Yep. At least I know I'm not the only one who doesn't like her voice.
Like, I don't know. I enjoy her. She's you know.
See, it's the Canadian.
She's a treasure here. It's a good. She has an amazing voice. Great set of pipes, in my opinion.
Yeah, if you don't listen to her.
Asshole.
Sorry, I got a low blow.
Yeah, low blow.
You know what my favorite part? You know what my favorite song by her is?
Let me guess. Nothing.
I would say, yeah, exactly that. But my favorite part of my favorite song by her is when she's not singing.
I had a feeling that was going to come up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So number 2 for you. No.
For me,
Yeah.
okay. Sympathy for the Devil by the Stones in 1968, which was covered by Motorhead, and the album Undercover.
Yeah. Same album as Heroes.
2014?
I got 2017 on mine.
2017?
Yeah.
Well, he died in 2016.
Right, but I think Heroes, I think the album I found that it was on, it got re-released on, I think, Bad Magic or something like that. That was like the very last album that they made before he passed.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that is a really good cover of Sympathy of the Devil.
This is fantastic.
And then number 1 for me is Social Distortion, Ring of Fire. Originally done by Johnny Cash in 1963. Social Distortion did it in 2012. I absolutely love Social Distortion. Their sound, very punk, bit of rockabilly in there as well. And yeah, just the cover of, like, you know, it's more sped up, but it's still just an amazing song. Easily. Number 1 is Social Distortion's Ring of Fire, hands down for me. What you got there, Chance? Your number 1.
Okay, so my number 1 has actually been covered several times by different people. In fact, the most famous version of it is a cover, but that's not the one that's my favorite.
Okay.
So the song I'm talking about is All Along the Watchtower.
Oh, yes.
Originally written and performed by Bob Dylan.
Really?
Yes, that is a Bob Dylan song. Bob Dylan originally recorded it and released it in 1968. And then the Jimi Hendrix version came out also in 1968.
Holy shit.
So, yeah, both versions were released within the same year.
Wow.
But the one that I'm picking of it is the version by Bear McCreary, who did he did all the music for Battlestar Galactica.
Okay.
And he did a cover of All Along the Watchtower in 2007 for the show.
Right.
Where I don't know if you guys have seen Battlestar Galactica.
I have not.
Okay, so
Good things.
just very brief breakdown of it. So you've got humans and you've got Cylons. Cylons are robots. Some of the robots look like humans.
Okay.
But you don't know, like, as the show progresses, you learn more and more, like, a person gets revealed to be a Cylon, and you're like, oh my god, they're actually a Cylon. And we knew that there were 4 more Cylon models, like, people ones, that we didn't know what they were. Like, we didn't know what they looked like as we go into the end of season 3. And certain characters start hearing music on the ship.
Right.
And then they start saying words, or they're like, oh, there's got to be some kind of way out of here. And they're like using lyrics from the song just in day-to-day life, and they'll stop and they'll hear this like music playing, and then as it actually, you get to the end of the season, it's epic, things are going nuts, and all of the characters follow the music, and they end up in a room together, and it's just the 4 of them. And then it clicks, and they're like, we're Cylons, and we always have been.
Oh.
And they're in like major seats of power. You know, you've got the second in command of the military. You've got the personal assistant to the president. You've got the person who handles the planes going out to fight the Cylons. You've got an actual fighter pilot for the fleet. and you realize, oh shit, we're the enemy, and we have been this entire time.
Oh,
And then so like epic Cylon attack, everything's scattering, and as the fleet is going, you just hear like the music just ramps up, and it's just this fucking metal ass version of Watchtower, and it just got this crazy distortion and like kind of spacey sounds, and then a character that we thought was dead, that we had watched die, shows up, and everyone's kind of freaking out, and they're just like flying there next to her, and she's just like, I've been to Earth and I know how to get there. And then it zooms out of the galaxy and then in another part, and you actually see Earth. And it's just this epic, just swelling, just one of the most intense sequences that's ever been put to film, all set to this amazing cover of All Along the Watchtower.
that sounds
And then-
badass.
And then at the end, the very end of the show, very last episode, we actually hear a snippet of Hendrix's version of it.
Oh, just a
Which
very
shows that
snip.
the song just kind of exists. Like, it doesn't matter what time period, that there's always going to be a version
Oh.
of All Along the Watchtower.
That's kind of cool that they had just like, even if just a snippet of just like, you know what, let's thank Jimmy for this, just for a brief snip. I'm like, yeah, right on.
Yeah, no, I highly recommend listening to Bear McCreary's version. It's badass. It's got this great breakdown in it where it's just like dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
It's great shit.
Bear
McCreary.
Along the watched. There, I got that saved into my phone. Gnome, you're number one. And then if you guys got an honorable mention, we got about 5-6 minutes of extra time here.
Life is a Highway by Tom Cochrane in 1991.
Canadian homeboy there.
God, his version sucks.
Fuck
Flats were
you!
way
I
better.
love his cover. No, not his cover. I love that original version with him.
It's just, again, what is it with you Canadians and being a little off key?
Oh, piss off. Tom Cochrane is just an amazing musician.
He's probably
Prove it.
really good, but I've heard his cover and his version, the original, and I'm not impressed.
I've seen him live a couple times, and hearing both was a Life is a Highway, Big Leagues, live is just amazing. Sounds so much better hearing it live. But yeah,
I think he's actually on key.
maybe. But what? And who'd you say you like the cover of?
Rascal Flatts, which
Rascal
Came
Flatts
out
is pretty good.
the Cars movie, which I think came out in like 2004, 2003.
That sounds about right. Fuck
Because
me.
I remember my brother taking me to watch that movie, and that was The Bee's Knees.
Still a good,
Sadly, I
good movie.
haven't seen the other ones.
You're
The
not
other Cars movies.
missing too much on Cars 2. Cars 3 was pretty good. It was a nice, good bow on top, but yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
it seems like they kind of like milked that for all it's worth, though.
Now I'll throw out here an honorable mention. And if you guys got any, throw them out as well. Honorable mention I have is Bad Moon Rising, that was originally done by Creedence Clearwater Revival, but the cover is Morning Ritual that does Bad Moon Rising, which you hear CCR's version where it just sounds like, you know, an upbeat, you know, a bluesy rock kind of sound. But you hear Morning Rituals, it sounds dark. It sounds eerie. I heard it based off the movie The Green Room by A24. And it was
Dude, Green Room's a fucking great movie.
like, it is such a twisted concept where it's like a punk band
Love it.
surviving against like white supremacists.
Well, my wife and I just threw it on a whim. I hadn't really heard too much about it.
Yeah.
I saw it on whatever streaming site it was on, and we were like, oh, okay, let's check this out. And when they realized it's a skinhead bar, and the first song they play is Nazi Punks Fuck Off, I was like, yeah, all right.
Shit.
I am sold on this movie.
All I had to see was
And
Pat.
Patrick Stewart was
Yes,
fucking crazy in it.
he scared the shit out of me. As a leader of the whole group, where it's just
Yeah.
they try and escape, and they got like fucking guard dogs and everything around the entire building. I'm like,
What is this
oh
movie
shit. Green Room. It was by A24. Go check it out. It's basically a local punk band playing at is a white
At a Nazi
supremacist
bar.
Nazi bar, pretty much. Oh yeah, that's what it is. And they stumble into the room where they see somebody laying dead with blood, and they're like, "Yeah, now you're not leaving here." And it's literally like this band versus the skinheads or the Nazis, like, to survive. Patrick Stewart, who is Xavier from the X-Men films. He
Captain
played
Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise.
Yep. He plays like the leader of the Nazis, and like he did good. Very eerie, but yeah, the cover of Bad Moon Rising in that, when you hear it, it sounds so eerie and creepy, and I love it.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Any honorable mentions you guys got?
I don't know that I would necessarily. I don't know if this counts as a cover. So in WWE, Triple H had been using a theme, like they started calling him the Game,
Right. Yes.
and his old like quasi DX solo theme also had some stuff like that in it.
Mm-hmm.
But then Motorhead did his actual The Game theme song,
Right.
which just became, synonymous with him. Which he also, Motorhead also made his King of Kings theme song, which is, I mean, I like The Game, but King of Kings, dude, that's a fucking track.
It's a fucking hitter. Like that gets you amped for any wrestling match.
Because the Time to Play the Game, I mean, it's got all that classic, it's got a lot of that classic Motorhead stuff that you're looking for, where it's like, time to play the game, and then you get the laugh, like, and it's like, like just fucking hard riffs, man.
It's up there with like that adrenaline rush of hearing Ace of Spades.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I like the King of Kings, where it's just like, behold the king, the king of kings.
On your
Bow
knees,
down to the king.
Oh, such a good jam.
So fucking good.
Again, I'm looking forward to that topic, hands down. I'm so ready. Gnome, do you got any honorable mentions?
Nothing that comes off hand
Nothing really?
right away. No.
Alrighty.
So I was thinking about horror TV shows that are just really fucking good.
Yeah.
Right. And there's been a lot. There's horror TV shows that are not very good. But the reason I was thinking about it is I just booked Jamie Flanagan. Let me see, and he's actually bringing a friend.
Oh.
Wow.
It's going to be a party.
Yeah. Jamie Flanagan and Rebecca Klingel will be coming on my podcast to talk about Midnight Mass, the Netflix series directed by Mike Flanagan, which, in my opinion, is a fucking masterpiece.
Wait, hold on. You got fucking TV show directors coming on your channel now. Not only authors now.
TV show writers, but yeah.
Hey, Shudder, pick up your phone. That's all I gotta say.
So yeah, I got Jamie, and he's bringing Rebecca Klingel with him, and she wrote for Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Bly Manor, the upcoming Fall of the House of Usher. And then Jamie wrote for Bly Manor and Midnight Mass and Usher, and he was in Doctor Sleep and Gerald's Game.
Oh.
So, but because of his brother's work and stuff too, it was just making me think about like top 3 horror shows. And it doesn't have to be just currently airing stuff from back then. But I was just going to say like top 3, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like this is the best thing ever, but just something that you personally enjoyed that flows along that horror channel.
So, like, whether it's shows we grew up with or current. Okay, fair enough. You launch it off there first, bud.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with, for my number 3. I'm gonna say the Chucky TV show.
I still have yet to see that. Is it good?
So good.
Oh, damn
It's so good.
Did Brad
It's
Dourif
one of
come
those.
back?
Yo, yeah.
Yes.
And they've got his daughter playing him in flashbacks because she looks exactly like him. And so it's his daughter playing him when he's younger, but then he's doing the voiceover for it.
Was this the one who was in Cult of Chucky?
Yes.
Oh, no way. I didn't know that was his daughter,
Yeah.
but now that you tell me, yeah, she does look like
yeah.
that.
Once you hear that, you're like, oh my god, they look exactly the same.
Absolutely, they do.
But yeah, Jennifer Tilly's back, and yeah, it's fantastic. Everything that happened in the movies is canon. It's all canon. But then the show just keeps on.
Man.
And yeah, I was not sure about it at first, and I was like, one day I was like, you know what, let's just give it a whirl. And I watched the whole season in a day. It was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
What is it on?
It aired on like Sci-Fi or USA or something like that.
Yeah, Sci-Fi we don't have here. Fuck. Shit. I'll have to see if I can find it elsewhere. I think I might know someone who could find it for me. But yeah, when I heard that Chucky was getting a TV series, I'm like, son of a bitch. That's my boy.
Okay.
I gotta go see that. But
Okay.
yeah, no luck here. But yeah, I'm so glad, especially from someone like you that enjoys horror year round. Then I got faith that I'll enjoy it too. Who do you want to hand it off to next?
Oh, let's throw it to Gnome because I'm sure they don't have anything.
How dare you? Actually, I do.
What do you got?
Dickhead. Fucking Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yes,
That's good.
I will absolutely count that. That is a good pick.
Yeah.
I got to see the voice of Courage. I didn't meet him, but he was at the con I was at back in March.
Oh, dude.
It still haunts me to this day. Is bring me the or what is it?
The talisman?
No, like it's like the first episode. He like steals, not like a flask, but like it's like a tablet of some sort. But the guy just keeps saying, "Bring it back to me," and it's haunting.
Oh.
You have to watch it, man.
I've seen a few episodes of Courage the Cowardly Dog, like growing up, but I didn't follow it too much.
Terrifying.
Well, I can imagine like the art style that was there, like for especially like our generations, like shit. Yes.
Absolutely terrifying.
Man, who was it here? I'm gonna say number 3. If you're gonna go Courage, I'm gonna go with the original Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I count that.
I absolutely like what was it? The original was like in the 60s, 70s.
I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly, but it's in that era.
Yeah, for sure. And like it's cheesy looking back on it, but like looking at it now, it's like you could totally tell Shaggy was a stoner talking to his dog the entire time. He had the munchies 24/7. You look at those sandwiches as a kid, you're like, damn, those look good. You look at it now as an adult, you're like, fuck me, that's gonna give me a heart attack. I'm going to the hospital after that. But yeah, even just the concept of the monsters is what I enjoyed there. Like I think my favorite ghost was Minor 49er. That or the 10,000 volt ghost. Those were my two favorites on that one. And you know, like you had this whole fear and like that these ordinary people playing these monsters look so fucking normal in real life. When you see them come to life, like on the show, is a completely different playing field. And it's just funny when like Velma exposes like the fucking wires and everything. It's like, that's how it was done. Sure. Okay. I'll believe that. All right, back to you, Chance.
So
you good?
Yeah, cat.
Oh.
Later, doctor.
For number 2, I'm gonna go with one of the shows that at least as when I was younger was a big reason why I stayed super into horror, which is Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes, that's my number 2 actually.
Yeah, it is, as it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? Really, for a lot of kids, was probably their introduction to horror.
I'd say that for me too.
Yeah, so like, and there was also the Goosebumps show that was around at the same time, and then there was the Goosebumps books and Fear Street books and all of those. But yeah, I Are You Afraid of the Dark? I mean, and it still left its imprint. There's a satirical account that I follow on Twitter called the Midnight Society.
Oh no
where
shit!
It's like making fun of authors, but in like a lighthearted way.
Oh,
and it's pretty funny. But yeah, it's submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society.
Oh man, like yeah, growing up, like I think like to me, like I liked Goosebumps, but Are You Afraid of the Dark just seemed more darker and a little. I wouldn't say edgy, but it was definitely a little more darker than
And
Goosebumps.
had Bobcat Goldthwait.
Oh, and like
He was in a lot of episodes.
Yeah, and then there was like some like was it Ryan Gosling was in an episode or two back in there's some because like it was in like Are You Afraid of the Dark was Canadian, Goosebump was American. And yeah, like if you look back, there's a lot of recognizable faces, young faces, mind you, that got like a couple episodes in Are You Afraid of the Dark. But yeah, good.
Like, they would have shut that up in Vancouver area, I'm sure.
Vancouver, BC, or even Toronto. Those are usually the main hotspots where they record stuff. Lately, it's been Calgary, Alberta, because the most recent Ghostbusters was filmed in Alberta.
Hanging out with the Hearts.
Pretty much, yeah. But oh man, I'm gonna have to see if I can find episodes of that. It's been so long. The intro is still very eerie as well. There was a meme I saw on TikTok, and it was this guy acting like he was the music producer walking in trying to pitch the show, and he was like, yeah, okay. He's like, hey, we're trying to come up with this new intro for a show called Are You Afraid of the Dark? You know, it's for kids, so don't make it mentally scarring, and don't put children's laughter or any eerie sounds in there. And just the attic shot with the evil kid laughter. It's like, oh fuck, great. All right, what's your number 2, Gnome?
Martin Mystery, an old Nickelodeon show from many years ago, where these kids would hunt down monsters and shit and the paranormal, and it wasn't always like super scary, but there were times where it was like, Jesus Christ, I want to turn the lights on and it's daytime.
Yeah, it wasn't like, I think it was them trying to do like a more updated Scooby-Doo with the formula, going like after aliens and monsters, but these were actually aliens and monsters. Yeah. It wasn't people like in a costume. Yeah. I think we brought this up last time with Chance. He said it looked like anime shit.
That sounds like something I would say.
Yeah, this is anime shit. Now it's been a while since I saw Martin Mystery. Good choice though.
Great show. I remember like the last episode I saw, like deep in the story. The story plot was like they're shutting the agency down that they worked for because they captured everything. And
oh yeah, no, definitely anime shit.
Yeah.
A monster got out and was going to start releasing them, and like, the end? Question mark.
I know it was like that show was huge here in Canada. I think it was made in Canada. Actually, so. Yeah, because like YTV, which was like the local kids channel in Canada here. Yeah, that was on quite a bit. I think like the character I remember mostly was it Kronk the caveman or something like that?
Yep.
Yeah. Just like
he used to use the lawnmower and he would just cut the grass with scissors.
Yeah. Oh fuck me, I forgot about that. That's so cringy.
He's a caveman. Loud noises scare him.
But let's be honest, the mom in that, such a babe. Her code name was literally Mom, and she looked like she was in her late 20s, maybe just barely hitting 30. As like the half frame glasses, lab coat, the purple shortcut hair. Yeah, just.
I can see why he calls it fucking anime shit.
Yeah, there you go, right there. All I listed right there, just anime shit. Like the art was pretty good.
The monsters were scary when they needed to be.
Yeah, I agree. I just, for some reason, I just can't remember. I don't really have solid memories on the monsters like, say, Scooby-Doo or anything like that. But yeah, so number was here for number 2 though. If I'm going, if it's Afraid of the Dark, because I'm with you on that one, Chance, for Afraid of the Dark easily. I think like the one episode that could probably pop up the most. I can't remember the name of it, but it had to do with a kid that was on a dare to go into a fun house and steal the clown's nose. And then again, I can't remember, but when he got home, like it was mental trauma. It was almost like Scream. You got the phone call, and it's like the clown laughter. And I think he like to like say sorry to the clown, he went back to the fun house, gave him the nose and a whole case of cigars. Which at the time, like, how is this like 14, 15-year-old kid able to buy like a big ass fat box of Cuban cigars?
Don't worry about it. You're digging too deep.
It's just, oh, it's like, no way was Canadian laws that loose back then. Like, shit.
What year was that?
Oh, that would have been, what would you say, Chance? Mid-90s at least, because it aired the same time as Goosebumps.
Yeah, it probably started around 94.
Yeah.
My guess.
Oh, that's right. You guys didn't have that ban on Cuba like America did.
The ban on what?
Oh, yeah, Americans can't get cute stuff from Cuba.
Yeah.
What?
Wait, I thought
And
they
haven't been able to since the 60s.
I thought they got rid of that.
It's lessened, but it's still a pain in the ass.
Yeah. So like here Cuban cigars are treated like chunks of gold.
Yeah.
Oh, I
They're
know.
contraband, man. It's illegal to have them.
Like, I know, at least where I live, we don't have anything like a cigar bar or a shop. Like, you would have to go to like Toronto or, you know, the very bigger, expensive areas of Canada to go find stuff like that. Like, but yeah, I didn't know that America had a ban on cigars for a while.
No, just
Or no,
shit, period.
Yeah, just shit from Cuba, period.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like Venezuelans will like make their own cigars and like they're Cubans and like this is dog shit tobacco. This smells like ass.
Yeah, I've only had Cuban cigars a couple times before. Last one I had, I think, was in Brazil. No.
Yeah, I want to try a genuine Cuban cigar, but you got to be careful because like the market is flooded with imposters.
Oh yeah.
Here
but
for sure.
But like,
yeah.
But yeah, Cuban cigars are pretty good. The one I had, at least in Brazil, was really nice. Good taste. But yeah, number one. What are we going with for our number ones there, Mr. Curator?
I brought it up at the start of this. Midnight Mass. Midnight Mass on Netflix, directed by Mike Flanagan, written by Mike Flanagan and Jamie Flanagan and several others in the writers' room. But it is, it's a masterpiece, man. It is one of the most spectacular pieces of television that I've ever seen. The way that they build, excuse me, the creeping dread throughout
the mic.
Yeah. But the way they build the creeping dread throughout the season, the way they reveal what's really been going on, the claustrophobic setting of it, like, it's all just amazing.
Okay. So with Midnight Mass, like this was a book originally or just an original?
No.
Okay. So
no, in terms of real life, but the book Midnight Mass is actually from Hush, which was also directed by Flanagan and starred his wife Kate Siegel, where she's writing a book called Midnight Mass. And then it's also referenced in, I think, Bly Manor.
okay.
So yeah, it's in the universe of Mike Flanagan works, it exists. But in real life, there is no book, Midnight Mass. So it's very much, it feels like it would be an adaptation of a Stephen King.
Oh, okay. I'll have to give this one a go then. If it's got Stephen King vibes, I'm in.
For sure, Stephen King vibes. Like 80s King.
Oh, then I'm totally there if it's 80s. Oh,
yeah, it's absolutely stunning. I mean, general plot of it is like there's this small fishing island that, you know, only way to get there is by ferry. Itty bitty little place, you know, population of 100 something. Deeply Catholic. deeply Catholic community. And
Shit.
just recently, they had raised money to send their Monsignor, their priest, off to the Holy Land so he could see it before he retired. So that's going on. We are pretty much our main protagonist is Riley Flynn, who's a child of the island and grew up there, and he got a job, in the city. Had too much to drink one night, got into a car accident, and killed a girl, and went to
shit.
prison. And so this is him being released from prison. He's done his time, and he's coming home. And so it's like this life that he left behind is there. So, but he's ostracized by the community for the most part because they're deeply Catholic, and he killed someone.
Right.
At the same time, a new priest shows up in the town, Monsignor Hill, and actual miracles start to occur. But yeah, it's so creepy. It's so good. Episode 6, which is the penultimate episode of the season, or the series, because it's just the one time, actually won the Bram Stoker Award for Superior Achievement in Screenwriting.
Oh, damn. Man, I hope you can make it to StokerCon.
Me too, man.
It sounds like it's your home away from home or your paradise.
I would love to go to StokerCon, meet all of my friends.
Dude.
In Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh isn't like terribly, terribly far, but
no,
it would definitely be a bit more of a journey than I normally take.
I could sense some vlogs coming on that one.
Yeah.
Some insider scoops.
I'd get so many interviews.
Oh, dude. Whether the stealthy stick or you're gonna have to get like one of those setups where people have where it's like a phone like with the mic attach it to like good sound, but it'd be worth it in the end. Good solid investment. But yeah, hopefully you can. Sure. But yeah,
it's the dream.
Oh, it'll happen. I'm sure it will. Shudder, listen up.
Put it right on your head.
Yeah. So no,
you have to have a gimmick. You have to have a gimmick when you interview people.
A gimmick?
Yeah, like what's his name? The guy who does Hot Ones.
Oh, Sean Austin?
Sean Evans.
Sean Evans. Okay.
Yeah.
Why did I think? Oh, I'm thinking about someone else. Jesus God.
Buffoon?
Wait, was I thinking of the guy from fucking Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
That's Sean Astin.
Oh, wow. Okay, never mind. Carry on. I'm thinking of someone that doesn't fucking exist.
You gotta have a gimmick, like horrifying foods that look that are actually delicious.
But I'm not asking them stuff like that. I'm having them talk about their books.
That's true.
No, well, I mean, wouldn't hurt.
Just carrying like a Carolina Reaper in his pocket, be like, "Hey, the Reaper has a request." It's like, no, that's how you lose a guest real fast.
No, you serve them food that looks horrifying, but it's actually really fucking good.
So, what's your what are we on? Number 1.
Yeah, so mine would be, I guess, American Horror Story.
Ooh, that's a really good one.
Are we going to say in general, or are you going to pick a particular season?
Probably season 1, honestly.
Yeah, Murder House.
Yeah. Because I noticed, like, after that, let's see, well, actually, no, the Asylum. Asylum one's my favorite.
Yeah.
Because, like, after that, shit just kind of gets wonky, and, like, they don't know how they're telling the story anymore.
From, like, American Horror Story is just... I love it. I will say that, yeah, Freak Show is still my favorite. I don't know what it is, but something about that, like, Depression era, like 1940s, 50s, like carnival kind of vibe. I've always found that era really interesting, especially like with the whole Freak Show gimmick. Yeah. And it's just like how, I think, where was it when one of the police try and take away one of the members of the Freak Show, they end up killing him. Like all the freaks turn on him, and it has like this whole burial with him hiding all the evidence where we don't talk about nothing. This stays with us to our grave. And it's just, oh shit. Yeah, don't cross him easily.
I'm pretty partial to Hotel.
Okay.
I liked Hotel a lot, but I think it's just because I liked James Patrick March.
That was Evan Peters?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a good actor. Like
I
it.
love that character. I loved how it was based off H.H. Holmes. Yeah, that I really like that season.
I haven't finished Hotel yet because like now that it's finally available to stream in Canada, I think like the scene that was like really just scarred into my brain was like seeing the dildo. I was like, oh my god! I was like, no. And yeah,
there was a dildo in what was it? Satanic Panic on Shudder. There was a dildo too. I guess that's just the thing now.
Oh yeah, just you want to have people on their feet or on the edge of their seats. Yeah, dildo. Speaking of Shudder, my number one is Creepshow.
Nice.
I've heard about it, and as of last year, I finally subscribed to Shudder just for October, and I watched just the first episode of the season for Shudder's Creepshow. I love what they're doing with it. A lot of the writers and then even just the makeup is the same people from the Walking Dead series. And yeah, I was hooked after episode 1, and I finished all the way to it. And I think last year, I think it was the season finale, and like over the episodes, they get quite a few big names to show up, for an episode. Like the last one I watched, Justin Long was in it, and he was like this IT tech person who made like this virtual reality kind of pod that you can go in there and be in these cinematic movies. And there was one movie he kept going back to that had Christopher Lee in it. I think it was like called Terror Train or something like that. It's a very, very old film. And what happens is that his wife is the AI bot from The Good Place. Janice? What was her name? Janet. And it's the actress that's in it. And she finds out one night that Justin Long goes into this pod, and he's actually sleeping with the female actress from this film. She goes and confronts her, but then to get revenge on him, he cuts his thumb off while he's stuck in virtual reality and switches the cables out that he's in Night of the Living Dead. And he's not able to get out of virtual reality, ends up getting killed off by the zombies in that movie. And it's just, I love it. It just takes me back to like Are You Afraid of the Dark with Creepshow. It's so good. Easily. But yeah, any other recommendations? Or not really recommendations, but like any other shows you guys could think of? Like 5 minutes left.
I mean, the other Mike Flanagan series, like Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Bly Manor, you can't go wrong with either one of those.
Okay.
Not a show, but it just released for Netflix, Gerald's Game, which is a Stephen King adaptation directed by Flanagan. Fucking spectacular.
Okay.
What We Do in the Shadows is absolutely fucking hilarious.
I don't know who is it that we had on as a guest, and you and him were talking about. I think it was Don Tony. You and him were talking about. Yeah, it was. You guys brought up that show, and that just got put on Star for Disney Plus. I watched the first episode, and I could not stop laughing. It is so hilarious.
So funny.
I can't remember the servant's name.
Guillermo.
Yeah, and he's just like, I'm gonna get turned into a vampire tonight. I know it. And like the vampire that rules him around is like, look, I know it's your anniversary and I got you something. He's like all ready to get turned into a vampire, and he like shows him like this macaroni artwork. It's like, it's me turning you into a vampire. I'm just like, fuck, this is great.
Endor the Relentless.
Yeah.
Is vampire, and then the others, Laszlo and Nadja and Colin Robinson.
Yeah, like I tried seeing if my wife would be interested in it, and just show I'm probably gonna be watching on my own, and looking forward to getting back into it. But it's good. It's
New
good.
season of it. New season of it very soon.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited because it's so fucking funny. Like Mark Hamill's in an episode of it.
What? Please tell me he's a vampire.
Oh yeah,
Yes. Oh, he would so work.
it's such a great episode. Yeah, I mean it's. There's an episode where they bring in like people that have played vampires in other movies, and they're all on the Vampiric Council.
No.
So you've got like Paul Rubens from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You've got Tilda Swinton. You've got Evan Rachel Wood. You've got Danny Trejo. Wesley Snipes is zooming in.
Can you tell me the episode number for that so I could just jump to that one? Because, like, fuck me, I want to see that now. My God.
It's so fucking funny.
Podcast over. I got to see this shit.
They even make a joke where they're like, is Rob here? Rob and Tom. So Rob Pattinson and Tom Cruise.
Oh.
And it's like, no, they want to move past that.
What movies or show is this?
What we do
in the shadows.
What's the streaming on?
It's FX. So in America, it's on Hulu.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of it's
based off a New Zealand film of the same name, What We Do in the Shadows, that was made by Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clement.
What's the actor's name that plays Laszlo? He played the grifter in Community.
Yeah, that's oh damn it! Why am I brain farting?
Was it
that?
Barry something?
Barry McCockiner?
Oh, you bastard!
Matt Berry.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like when I saw him playing a vampire, I'm like, "Fuck me!" Like this is gonna be good.
He's so good.
Yeah,
he's so good.
Yeah, like
every time he transforms into a bat in the show, he yells "bat" beforehand.
Yeah.
He's like bored about something. He's just like "bat." Just flies off.
The female who plays the female vampire, I can't remember her name, but
Nadja.
Yeah, where she spots like in the window a man who she thought she saw like centuries ago, and she's like, I can sense this is him, and she's like climbing the wall while peeking in, and he's just freaking jacking off on the phone. And she's like, I know it's him. Like runs away quick.
Her character is so good. In later seasons, they actually encounter the ghosts of their human selves.
Oh.
But then her ghost goes into a little doll and sticks around. So there's a little Nadja doll and Nadja. It's so creepy.
Oh, shit.
And it's so funny having two of them. But she's talking about, growing up like a poor gypsy or whatever. And she's just like, staying warm from the light of a burning donkey.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Burning donkey.
And then there's the last one I could think of where he's not really a traditional vampire. He's an energy-sucking vampire.
Yeah, Colin Robinson, that fucking guy.
Oh, fuck me. Like, where the server, like, brings, like, the two versions in, and there's, like, no one start. And the energy guy just talking to them, you could just see both of them just like passing out because how boring he is. I'm like, fuck, I worked with a guy who was like that before.
That's what makes it so good, is we've all worked with that person.
Yeah, I was just like, fuck, shut up. I don't care. Go away.
Colin Robinson.
Oh, God. Such a good series. Watch it when you can. No, it's really good. But
I just added it to my watch list.
Sweet.
All right, so like, I like The Walking Dead, or I used to, and then they went to the prison. It went downhill from there. No one gives a shit. All right, boring old news. There's a show, Peaky Blinders, where like they'll have the plot where it's like, we have to do this. Some things happen. There's a lot of dialogue. Some more shit happens. Dialogue, we get to the end, and they're like, by the way, we have something going on right now that needs to be addressed. Oh, look at that. End of the show. All right, we're moving on. All right, see you guys next week, fucking idiot. And and then you go to the next episode. They do a little bit of back briefing. They say, "Hey, that's where we left off. Wham bam, we're all right. We're through with it. Moving on to the next thing. We are we're gonna some more dialogue, a little bit more action, a little bit more murder, a little bit more crime and corruption, a little bit more dialogue. Rinse, repeat. All right, Walking Dead fucking sucks.
It like I know for Walking Dead, like I didn't watch the series. I think I watched maybe like the first few episodes, and I kind of lost interest.
Yeah, because like their formula is the exciting thing that you just saw last episode.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna cover that, brief it up. All right, dialogue, some boring shit, some exciting things to push the story a little bit more forward.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that! The end of the episode. Something massive and big is coming up. All right, wait a week, dickhead. And then next week comes around, slap shot, it's done, and then they're like, all right, more boring shit to cover.
Just kind of like filler, hey.
Right, it's just a lot of filler. Not a lot goes on in The Walking Dead in the broad scheme of things. Now, Peaky Blinders, there's season 1. They do a lot of shit. A lot of people die. There's a lot of drinking, a lot of sucking and fucking, a lot of crime and corruption. And they have a real bastard that didn't serve in the Great War who's telling people that they're pieces of shit. He's like, oh, what were you doing? Being a fucking weenie back here.
Aye.
Yeah, you have to watch it. Fantastic.
You're telling me Peaky Blinders now, not Walking Dead.
Correct.
Okay, just making sure.
No, go watch Walking Dead. That show's fantastic.
Oh.
Definitely not boring at all.
Just to see the snarl on Jet, like, did you really just say that to him? This poor bastard.
No, I mean, the Walking Dead started off strong, but yeah, I haven't watched that shit in seasons.
Right.
Boring as sin.
Like, I think the last episode I watched, it was when Glenn was driving the stolen hot rod, and the fucking alarm kept going off the entire time.
Camaro.
Yeah, it was like a Camaro or something like that. And he goes all the way to the campsite where like the rest of the survivors are, and the horn's still going off. And
like, what are you, fucking stupid?
Yeah, just like, I got a new car. It's like, idiots. Like, no.
But like over that would have stopped going off a while before he got there.
Yeah. I don't know, just seeing that scene, I was like, that's kind of funny.
Unless he lives like, 2 minutes away? But
I
they were
no
not
idea.
2 minutes away. They were far from Atlanta.
Yeah, like they were out in the woods, I know that.
Yeah, they were in bumfuck, essentially.
Who do you want to throw this off to here?
All right. Anyone have any other critiques with that? Like some good shows that they watch that, doesn't fucking suck?
Well, so what comes to mind for me is like The Flash on the CW.
Okay.
Where it's got a similar kind of thing where it started off the first 3 seasons, I'd say, are really, really fucking great television.
Okay.
But it's gotten to the point now where it's almost a caricature of itself. Like, and you can tell that the budget has just been stripped from it over and over and over, like comparing how it looks now and how it's even shot and costume design to where it was 5 years ago is crazy. But it's kind of like what Noam was talking about, where they build up this big reveal for the next episode, and then it's 30 minutes of pep talks in hallways and 5 minutes of actual action. Like, for a comic book show about a speedster, it moves really fucking slow. So I would say something like The Flash, which, like they canceled Legends of Tomorrow, and I'm heartbroken about it because that show actually did the balance of action and dialogue and exposition really, really well, and knew what it was. But instead, we get corny. You're not the Flash, Barry. We are the Flash. Garbage.
Like how many different Flashes there are? I know there's Flash, there's Reverse Flash. Isn't there like other versions of Flash as well?
Yeah, there's Kid Flash and
Flash Gordon.
there's
Flash
XS and Impulse and Black Flash.
Isn't there a white one? No?
Godspeed.
Okay. But yeah, I can see that. Like, I've never watched any of the DC shows other than Doom Patrol and Peacemaker. That's about it.
I need to watch Doom Patrol still.
Oh, it's so good. You're missing out.
I can't wait for the new season.
Oh, same. I'll probably be resubscribing to Crave because that's how we can get HBO shows. And yeah, that's probably how I'll be watching Doom Patrol for sure. Brendan Fraser as Robot Man is still my favorite.
So good.
I love it that like all the wardrobe he has is just like old ratty band shirts. So anytime I see him, I'm like, okay, what shirt you got next? And like the very first appearance is him as Robot Man. He's got like fucking Motorhead on next episode, Bad Brains. I'm like, fuck yeah, I love this guy's wardrobe.
Yeah, dead Kennedys and shit.
Yeah, and it's got like the leather jacket to go with it as well. I'm like, oh, do not fucking change this look. It's so cool. Oh man. Now for action shows, I think like the one example I could probably throw in is Sons of Anarchy. Because again, like it was an amazing show by Kurt Sutter, and I loved it. But I feel like after when Opie died, the show really started to do more fillers. Because like I think it was like right after Opie died, I think within the next season, it's like they started killing off a lot of the main cast, like towards the very end. Like I think a lot of the same episode just became predictable, almost of like who was the main person stirring the shit pot, which was just Clay and Gemma. Which was Clay was the president of the biker gang Sons of Anarchy, and Gemma was Jax's mom, Queen of the Bikers, as they try and call her in that.
Was that played by Katie Seagal?
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah, she could get it back in her days and fucking. But that one show.
Oh, Married with Children?
Yeah, Married with Children. Yeah, big fan of her back then.
Oh, like even now, like in the show, like I'm not gonna lie, like she is a ruthless fucker in that show. There's one scene where I think it's in season 1, and the whole gang rides over to I think Arizona to try and like do a patch over party with another club to bring him in. And at one point, you know, they do the whole well, we're not in the same state, you know, we can have a pick of whatever woman we want. And Clay gets with this girl that Prospect was trying to get with, all because he said something about his lady, which was Gemma. And so anyway, that lady, the girl that Clay gets with, rides back to Charming, where they're originally from, and Gemma finds out she got with Clay, and she happens to run into her later throughout the day. All she does without hesitation, sees a kid skateboarding, grabs the skateboard, cranks it over the girl's nose, and just breaks her nose like right there on the spot. Like, it is a brutal show. Like, there's a lot of blood and gore in it. Like it's funny at moments. It can get very dark and very twisted, but you know, I know some people weren't happy with how it ended. It was sad, but like, yeah, if you're gonna watch, I'm not gonna say the ending of the whole series, but at some points there is quite a bit of filler. There's not a whole lot of action going on. Like there's some chase moments going on and some digging up of, you know, news or like info going on between gangs and whatnot. But when it does get to actual blood, gore, and violence, Like it's good. It's really good. But yeah, it's probably throwing SOA for sure on that one.
Because like one thing I do appreciate about Peaky Blinders is the main protagonist. No matter what, he's always cool, calm, and collected, and he's always trying to be at least 2 steps ahead of his problems. No matter how bad they are, he's always got a plan in the works,
Mm-hmm.
or he has to throw shit at a wall last second because that's all he can really do.
Like, I've
And
not watched Peaky Blinders, but my wife, she's been watching the series on Netflix, and to hear Red Right Hand so many times just from The Office, I'm like, okay, she's watching that. There's one moment I walked out and I saw her watching it, and it was, I don't know if it was a dream he was in, but he was standing in the middle of a minefield, and he almost stepped on a mine. And all of a sudden, he hears his son walking out towards him, and he's like trying to stop him from like stepping on anything that can be a mine, and he just drops his gun and just fucking just runs for his life, hoping his kid doesn't step on one. And when you say cool, calm, and collective, just afterwards, he's like, yeah, go play your violin with your teacher there. It's like, holy
particularly
shit.
loud.
Yeah, particularly loud. Yeah, I was like, how the fuck are you this calm with damn near having a heart attack about losing your kid over mines? Like, good lord.
He served in the Great War, man.
Oh, I can imagine. But, like...
And then he shoots the mines and shit.
Oh.
That's what I'm putting in his backyard, yeah.
Oh, so he that's how he gets rid of them, hence why play it very loud.
Yeah.
Well, at least he got rid of them.
So, like... But, like, he's... I love how the problems always... Well, not the problems, but, like, his enemies are always getting progressively bigger.
Like as in, like bigger empires? Or, like,
yeah,
a bigger
like,
threat?
Well, both.
Okay.
And the first one, it's just like... He holds a fistful of land, which is his neighborhood and probably some of the surrounding area. But he wants the whole town.
Oh.
He marries one of his brothers off into a rival gang, and they're trying to take over this horse racing industry
Right.
because that's a source of income.
Now, I keep mistaking this one. The actual Peaky Blinders, like, they're not Irish. They're a British, like, gang.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're English.
English, okay.
They work a little bit with the IRA here and there, but that's not because he wants to, but because he's kind of forced to.
Okay. Yeah, and then what was it? I think my wife told me, like, Tom Hardy.
Oh my God! Yes,
Isn't it?
Yes.
Wow.
Mr. Sullivan's.
Now the thing is with him, like, playing like a gangster, like, whether from Ireland or England, the only representation I could think of him is from the movie Legend. He plays a set of twin gangsters from Ireland, and it was actually like one of those, like, kind of like those stories, like true stories told, where it was like these brothers that were like running this empire in, like, I think it was in Ireland they did it. But yeah, I imagine he did pretty good in that.
He's fantastic. When they introduce him, you're like, is that fucking Tom Hardy?
It's always a shocker when you find these like well-known actors in a TV series, because, like, there was one interview I saw, and I think it was with Bill Burr. He was talking with I think Steve-O on his Wild Ride podcast, and he said like, there was a time where, like, you were either a TV guy or a movie guy, and, like, now, like, it's just they collab so much together that, like, TV is like the low tier, movie star is like the high tier, and, like, now you could do either or and still keep your status.
Yeah, because especially now, like, budgets going up and shit, and like how much money some shows are making.
Oh, easily, very easily. What's your input on this there, Chance?
Also, never seen Peaky Blinders, so I have no frame of reference for that. Now, is it, with the kind of the original concept that we were talking about, like stuff that could be doing better. I recently watched all of Star Trek Discovery.
Okay.
Because they just had the new spinoff show called Strange New Worlds. Get started, which has had 3 episodes so far. So Strange New Worlds follows the USS Enterprise under the command of Captain Pike, which Pike was the original captain in the original series before Kirk came on board.
Okay.
So this is following. So it's a pre-Kirk Enterprise. So you've got Spock and Uhura and a couple of others on there with Captain Pike, and it's lovely. Like it feels like Star Trek.
Nice.
So I was like, okay, I know this is a spinoff from Discovery, which I had given a shot at. I watched 4 or 5 episodes of it when it first came out in 2017, and I was like, this is not Star Trek. This is not for me. Because it had given up on what Star Trek was supposed to be, which is hope and optimism.
Okay.
And they had changed so much about what Star Trek was, and they kind of with the reverse. They went too far into like action sequences and less time in diplomacy, which is what Star Trek is kind of supposed to be. But I went back and I was like, okay, let me give it a fair shot. And the first 2 seasons, it was tough. It was tough going. I got through it, but I was not having a whole lot of fun. Season 2 was better than season 1, but it was still like, eh.
And this is Discovery you're talking about?
Discovery,
okay,
yes.
Yeah.
But then once, at the end of season 2, they kind of reinvented the show.
Okay.
Where there was this AI called Control that had all this, crazy amounts of information, and it had emerged with Discovery's computer. But as long as it existed in that time and place, it had the capability to become sentient, more sentient, and destroy all organic life. Oh. So they end up opening a wormhole and flying Discovery through it. So Discovery and her crew go 930 years into the future.
Holy shit.
So then you've got this brand new galaxy. It's still the Milky Way. It's still the same world, like the universe of Star Trek. But now, like, the Federation's down to 30 planets. Earth is not a member of the Federation anymore. You've got this crazy new setup. And there you can kind of redo the mission of Star Trek, which is explore strange new worlds, seek out new life, new civilizations. So you get this crew from the past jumping to the future. And you get to see all this new technology and new alliances, and to use Star Trek terminology, it grew the beard, as you say about Star Trek shows when they get good, they grew the beard.
I like that.
Yeah, that comes from Next Generation. Season 1, Riker didn't have a beard, and it's okay. Season 2, Riker grows the beard, it starts getting real good.
Okay, I get it now.
Yeah. So,
nice.
Yeah. Like, when a show gets bad, you say it jumps the shark from Happy Days.
Oh, that's where it comes from?
Yeah, there's literally an episode of Happy Days where the Fonz jumps over a shark on, like, a sea-doo.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get this straight. When you hear the phrase jump the shark, that's bad.
Yes, jump the shark is bad. That means that a show has gone so far past its original premise
that it'll literally try anything.
That the characters are literally jumping over sharks. So yeah, you say something, jump the shark. That comes from Happy Days.
What the fuck, Henry Winkler? That's all I gotta say.
They do a fun little bit on that in Arrested Development, where Henry Winkler plays Barry Zuckerhorn, the family's attorney.
Oh shit!
And they find there's a seal that bit off Buster's hand, and then they get notified that the seal's been found, but then they end up finding just the fin of the seal that got bitten off by a shark. So they've got the shark laid out on the dock, and they're talking about it, and Henry Winkler's like, all right, well, I'm off to Burger King, and he jumps over the shark. Nice little
A little nod.
Yeah, a little historical Easter egg there.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Fuck. Man. I'm trying to think of any other shows. Like,
Here's one American Horror Story.
okay,
Going
shoot.
back to that one. So, like, you ever seen Season Apocalypse?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't gotten there yet, no.
All right. Well, I hate to give you a spoiler on it, but
Go for it.
I'll just rip this fucking Band-Aid off for you. Save you the time. The first half of it, amazing. Very well done. It's pacing, great. The information they're throwing at you, you can chew it. The second half, though, they're telling you all the events that have led up to the apocalypse and all that.
So, like,
and,
all the
what-
seasons are connected then.
Yeah, it's connecting all the seasons. It's connecting all the different stories.
I mean,
and all
when the
that.
witches show up, it's pretty badass.
Yeah. Oh, of course, it's great. But then, like, when they start, like, here's something from Hotel. Here's something from that one, and they're connecting all the dots for Pepe Sylvia. And you're like, this was a huge waste of time and a huge information dump. This is just filler. And it's not good. And that's how it seems like. I saw the season that took place in the 80s. Kind of the same thing.
Oh, wait,
like,
you're talking like American Horror Story 1984?
Yeah.
That one I can't wait to get to. It just looks like
All right.
80s horror slasher vibes.
Well, then you can take your headset off for this one, and like when you get to this point in editing,
Just
'cause, like,
go for it. It's okay.
the first half, great. You know, it's a slasher movie that's a couple hours long, and you're like, shit's getting wild, and it's fucking great. All right, it's got that 80s feel to it. You know, the camp counselors are fucking each other. Everyone's doing some sucking and fucking except the
Very Friday
main
the
lady.
13th.
Yeah, and everyone's having a great time until they're not. It kind of has the thing of like season one.
It's just very like 80s slasher, like easy tropes and shit that like everyone else has seen kind of deal. Hey,
Yeah, and then they get to the second half of it, and it's like time's flying, and they talk about the park here and there.
They try to. Ryan Murphy always tries to put too much mythos in each season.
As a creator, hey?
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Like, it would.
It's not a filler.
84 would have been better without all the Night Stalker shit. Like, why we got to put that in there?
Yeah, he's like telling two different stories, like,
Yeah.
and then like you get to like the second part of it, and then it's just like, oh yeah, time's flying by. It's 1985, 1990, and then it gets to modern times, and then they bring out like a bit of an they connect another season to it somehow, and they're like, oh yeah, don't worry, this guy's going nowhere because the moment he wakes up, we fucking kill him.
Chance, you mentioned Night Stalker. Are you talking like the serial killer from LA? Like that Night Stalker?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yep. These tied in there.
Richard Ramirez.
There we go. I forgot his name. But,
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And I don't even think it's the same actor that played the Night Stalker in the Hotel season either, where they had the serial killer like poker nights.
I heard about this episode. I haven't gotten there yet. Like, I'm on Hotel, but I haven't got to that episode yet. Someone, I think it was you or somebody else that mentioned to me that, like, what was it? Dahmer, Bundy, like, all these big name serial killers are, like, together.
They're all mentees of James Patrick March,
who, as you said, is based off H.H. Holmes. Wow. Holy shit.
which he's they brought him back for Apocalypse too.
Oh shit!
That one sequence with was it Michael? Is that his name? The Antichrist?
Yeah, I'm not sure his name, but
I think it's Michael. Michael Langdon.
It's not Bofa. Yeah.
No, it's the baby from the end of Murder House.
Oh, no way.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I was wondering what happened to that kid after Murder House.
Yeah, he grows up to be the Antichrist.
Right, because I remember, was the end of Murder House didn't, like, the whole family die? The dad and the mom, too?
Yeah, they're all dead.
Yeah, I was wondering what happened to the kid after that.
Yeah, it was raised by
The next door.
Jessica Lange.
Oh, I love her. And
Constance. Wasn't that her name?
yeah, Constance,
I
yeah.
think so.
Constance.
Yeah.
And she's
Yeah, when
constantly fucking up.
when they do bring her back for an episode of Apocalypse, and like you see her walking down the stairs, and she's like, "My name is Constance Langdon, and this is my goddamn house." Like, yeah,
Like,
fuck yeah, Jessica Lange.
Jessica Lange is an incredible actress in American Horror Story. Like, I love it that they bring back a lot of these actors, like, in each season as different characters, and it really feels like, you know, Are You Afraid of the Dark or Creep Show, where it's like,
It's that repertory theater kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved her in Asylum, I think, where she kind of goes bonkers at the end of it and is in that cabin, and she's like, "What the hell is this? Naughty Pine?" That's one of the best line readings ever. That's top tier.
For me, I think Kathy Bates she's a gem in that whole series.
God, she was so good in Coven.
Coven, she was good. I loved her as the bearded lady in Freak Show.
Yeah, she was good in Freak Show too. But
Yeah,
I loved her character in Coven. I use the gif of her being like, "Lies." I use that frequently.
I think where the episode where it really just showed her this character as being vulnerable is Edward Mordrake when he shows up trying to round him up, and like he interviews her, and Jess is like, she's like, you know what, I deserve it, take me, and she's like just like begging to be taken away from this world, and the minute she like looks up and looks around, like, and he's gone, and it's just like, oh fuck, like, no, I'm stuck for suffering with this memory of giving birth to my kid in real life. Yeah, amazing series. But you know what, guys? Probably gonna do it for episode 21 of BBGN. Good topics covered. We got some music, some TV shows, all good and tied off with a bow here. If you guys are interested in checking out any of our Twitch streamings going on, Gnome, I hear you're streaming finally.
I did once, and then I had 3 viewers.
Yeah.
Not at the same time. Literally, one would leave, the other one would come in like a rotating door.
Keep it going. You'll do good.
Yeah.
Chance and myself, you can find us on Twitch, and as well with the Curator, you can find him on his Terrifying Tomes of Terror. Take it away, Chance.
Yeah, Terrifying Tomes of Terror, my horror book podcast where I interview authors. Terrifying Tomes of Terror.buzzsprout.com. I'm on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, YouTube, anywhere and everywhere you get your podcasts except for Pandora, who still don't have their shit together. My second episode with Clay McLeod Chapman came out this week. The next episode will be out on the 7th of June, which will be my interview with Bram Stoker award-winning author Haley Piper, talking about Your Mind is a Terrible Thing.
Nice.
That's what I've got going on. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Curator of Horror or at Terrifying Tomes.
Kick ass. All right, gang. Well, this is I, the Big Red Gamer, alongside with me.
PlayChancePlay.
And alongside with him.
I'm Gnome.
Thank you all very much for tuning in for another exciting episode of BBGN. And as always, Excelsior.